Hold on, hold on. Let me get. I'm trying to wrap my head around this your story. Like you start touching your father. You have these feelings for your father, the intimacy feeling, like a boyfriend and girlfriend feeling,
Yes,
and you have to go to an extent of getting a sleeping pill to put in his food or be water, like you said, and gave to him.
yes, because
And when he's sleeping, you will be touching him.
yes, I needed to
Ha!
have I needed to have a
Oh,
feel of him. Like I needed to know what it feels like to touch that body that I have always longed to touch, but I couldn't bring myself to tell him that see how I'm feeling about you, sleep deeper and longer, because that was what I needed. Though he didn't know who I was using it on or my purpose, but I just explained to him and he gave me what I asked for. So when I came back that night, I used it on him, and to my own satisfaction, or for my selfish reasons and interests, he slept deeper than I even thought. And that night, I knew I needed something deeper as well. I had to go deeper into him, and I I ended up having sex with him.
wait. Hi guys, it's your girl Cynthia Nation again. Today, guys, I'm here with this lady. She contacted me that she has a story to share to my audience. So, sister, without introducing yourself, can you just share your story to my audience?
Okay, thank you for giving me the avenue and the opportunity to share my story. I must say that this story is not your regular story, because it's a painful one. It's really sad and disheartening. My story goes like this. I am that child that I never knew who my mother was. I grew up knowing my father, living with him alone. All the things I knew about my mom were told to me by my dad. My father told me everything. Anything I can say about my mom, her name, how she looks and everything. It was all my father told me about her. And my father was that kind of father that every child would love to have. He was so caring. He was so nice. He took care of me like a princess that I am. He made sure that I never felt the absence of my mother. He made sure that that vacuum that my mother left, I didn't feel it. And I must say that he was a father to be proud of. I grew up knowing him and living. I grew up knowing him, living with him alone. He was the only friend I had was my father, the family members and all that. He was this kind of father that will bring himself down to my level, my age, to play with me as if we were mates. If you see where we are playing, you will think that we are mates. But that is the kind of father he was. So I grew up knowing him alone, and we lived happily until I became a woman. Then I started having these feelings for my father. The kind of feelings I was having for him, I wouldn't say is the that of a father and daughter. I was having this romantic feeling towards him, like when a woman is interested in a man, that kind of feeling you have as a woman when you're interested in a man. That was the kind of feelings I was having for my father. And that was where the whole thing started. I wish I could turn back the hands of time. I would have made amends, but I have no power to do that. So as time goes on, when my father discovered that I have grown into a woman, he called me to ask me if I have a man in my life that I could introduce to him, like my boyfriend or somebody I'm seeing. But the truth of the matter is that as at that time I was not seeing anybody, I had no boyfriend because I had no intention of keeping one, because I had my eyes on my father. So when he asked that question, I told him that I had no one in my life, and that was the truth. I had no one in my life. So as time goes on, the feeling I was having for him was growing so much that I couldn't control it anymore. So I needed to have something intimate with him. So I didn't know how to bring myself to tell him how I feel about him. So I went to this pharmacy and I got the sleeping pills. Then I had to add it to his water because we lived alone in the house. It was just the two of us. So I added the sleeping pills in his water. So when he drank the water and when he fell asleep in the night, I just went quietly into his room. And when I got there, I was so happy to see him. And that feeling was just, it grew like I just needed to touch him. I needed to have a feel of him. And I touched him. I played with him like the way lovers do, unknown to him because he was unconscious. So that continued on.
Hold on. Let me get. I'm trying to wrap my head around this your story. Like you start touching your father. You have these feelings for your father, the intimacy feeling, like a boyfriend and girlfriend feeling,
Yes,
and you have to go to an extent of getting a sleeping pill to put in his food or be water, like you said, and gave to him.
yes, because
And when he's sleeping, you will be touching him.
yes, I needed to have a
Oh,
feel of him. Like I needed to know what it feels like to touch that body that I have always longed to touch, but I couldn't bring myself to tell him that see how I'm feeling about you. So I needed to do it my own way, though he was not aware of it, but I had to do what I had to do. So I was doing it. I thought I was enjoying it. I didn't know that I was doing myself more harm than good. It continued until one day while I was playing with him, I noticed that he almost gained consciousness because all the while I was playing with him, he was always unconscious. But that particular day, I noticed that he almost regained consciousness. Then I discovered that the pills weren't working like it was. Maybe his systems have gotten used to the pills that they no longer work effectively. So I needed something stronger, something that would make him sleep deeper and longer. Then I went to the pharmacist again and he gave me another pill.
another pill different from the one that they used to give you before.
Yes, but he told me that that one will make him sleep deeper and longer because that was what I needed. Though they didn't know who I was using it on or my purpose, but I just explained to him and he gave me what I asked for. So when I came back that night, I used it on him and to my own satisfaction or for my selfish reasons and interest, he slept deeper than I even thought. And that night I knew I needed something deeper as well. I had to go deeper into him and I I ended up having sex with him.
Wait. Having sex with your father?
Yes,
Are you sure? Wait, are you sure this man is your real father?
of course.
Hey,
He was.
wow. Okay, continue.
He was. So I ended up having sex with him unknown to him because all this while he was unconscious. Then after the whole thing, after some time, I discovered that I was pregnant. But then I knew that I didn't have to keep the baby. The baby must not stay because I can't bring myself to tell the world that I was pregnant from my father. So I had to do away with the pregnancy. Then I went to the hospital and the whole thing was successful. The evacuation was successful. I I had I had myself back. Then I came back and continued because then I was just I felt I was enjoying the whole process. So
Okay, hold on. Hey, good. Hey, things that happen. Oh. Wait, you got pregnant for your father, and you went and removed the pregnancy. You aborted the baby, and you came back and continue again. Hey,
yes, because then I thought
hmm.
I thought I was enjoying the whole thing. I didn't know that I was just destroying myself. I continued again and I got pregnant the second time. This time around I went back to the hospital, but I was told that I cannot have another abortion unless I'll have to bring somebody that will stand in for me, that will stand in for me, that will sign, because the abortion may or may not be successful. And then I had no one else to bring. The only person I had was my father, and obviously I cannot tell him such. So I came back home. I was just living my normal life, just thinking of the next thing to do, because at that time I was just confused. Then one day I started having this severe headache, and I went to the pharmacy to buy drugs or medication. After taking the medication, I noticed that the whole thing continued, nothing stopped. So my father had to notice that I wasn't myself, that I was feeling uneasy. I wasn't myself like I used to. So he had to take me to the hospital. At first, I refused going to the hospital with him because I was afraid that the whole thing could leak. But I had no choice because he insisted that we must see a doctor because my situation was getting worse. So when we got to the hospital, I was confirmed pregnant. The doctor confirmed that I was pregnant. And at first, he was sad and disappointed with me or at me or in me, whatever, because he never thought. He was so sad and disappointed in me at the same time because he never believed I could behave in such manner. At first, he didn't even talk to me. He was just keeping to himself. When we came back from the hospital, he just went straight into his room, and for a day or two, we never talked to each other. Even when I tried to communicate with him, he snubs me or he would just ignore me completely. So after 2 days, he called me to ask me how I managed to get pregnant because the last time he checked, I told him I never had a boyfriend. So how did I manage to get pregnant? And on my own, I couldn't bring myself to open up and tell him that he is actually responsible for my pregnancy. So at first, the first day he asked me and I couldn't bring myself to tell him, and he was furious, he was angry. And another day, second day, he called me again and asked me the same question, but I still couldn't bring myself to tell him who that he is actually responsible for the pregnancy. Then the third day again, then that day he was so angry that he told me that that day was going to be the last day he would ask me such question. And if I didn't tell him that day that he will wash his hand off me, he will make sure I take care of myself, and anything that has to do with me, he will no longer get involved. Then and there, I knew that he was about to give up on me. Then I had to open up and tell him the whole thing. I had to tell him that he is actually the one responsible for my pregnancy. But that was the talking story of his life. He was so shocked that he never, at first he thought I was joking. He never believed it because he couldn't bring himself to understand what I was saying. Reason being that he has never had any carnal knowledge of me. So there was no way he would have believed what I was saying, knowing fully well that he never had carnal knowledge of me. But when I started, I needed to remind him of those days. He would wake up and tell me how he was feeling and how weak he. Then I made it clear to him that I was the one who has been behind all that, all the weakness and the feeling he was having. It was then he believed that.
Okay, let me understand you. Okay, you told him that all those times that he used to feel weak, that you are the one that do give him sleeping pills.
Yes, and when
Okay, but okay, wait. Hey God, I don't even know what to ask. So those times that you used to give him that pills, okay, sometimes he will wake up and he will feel somehow.
yes, as a result of the effect of the pills.
Okay.
Yes, because he may have slept longer than he expected, or but I remember the first day The first day I had sex with him, he complained of his body paining him. He complained of body pains, but I didn't bring myself to tell him that look at what happened while we were sleeping.
Okay.
So after I reminded him of all those nights and the happenings, it was then he believed that I was actually telling him the truth. So since that day, he became a shadow of himself. I lost that sweet daddy that I used to have. I lost that father that cared for me right from the day I was born. I lost that father that never made me feel the absence of my mother. But then it was too late. There was nothing I could do because he started keeping to himself. He would wake up in the morning, go to work, come back, go straight into his room. I don't get to see him like I used to. I don't get to have a chat with him like I used to. Everything changed. It was just like the whole place became a quiet zone, like as if we were living in the cemetery. I was just lost. Then I knew that I have lost him and I have also lost myself. I was pregnant with a child from my father, and the father who happens to be responsible for the child is, oh God, I don't know how to describe the situation, but it's something that I wouldn't wish not even my worst enemy. So he started keeping to himself, and it continued like that until one day I woke up in the morning. I discovered that he has not left the house. Unlike him, he normally leaves the house early. But that day I discovered that he has not left the house. He was still in his room. Then I said, okay, maybe today he wants to take a break from work and probably do one or two things. Then in the afternoon, he was still there. I was a bit worried, but then I said maybe he wants to maybe rest from work and all that because has been the one taking care of me. He has been working so hard to make sure he takes good care of me. So till evening he didn't come out. Then I was wondering, even though he may decide to have maybe rest or take a break from work, but does it mean that he wouldn't come out at least to bathe or to eat, or at least just to come out to, like, you know how you normally maybe just come out of the room, at least let me get to see him and know that he's okay. He didn't come out. Then the whole night, it was the next morning that he was still there. Then I knew that something was odd, all was not well. So I needed to peep through the keyhole on the door. I had to peep, and when I peeped through that hole, I saw my father lying down on his bed. Then I needed to take action. I knew it was time for me to do something. Then I had to force the door open, and lo and behold, I saw my father lying down there. When I went closely to him, I lifted up his hand.
You say you saw your father lying down dead?
There, he was just
Okay,
there.
dear. Okay.
There, he was just lying down there.
Okay.
Then I had to go closer to him to take a look at, because it wasn't normal for him to still be in bed by that time. Then when I went closer to look at him, I saw a small container by the bedside. At first, I didn't know what the contents was until I picked the container and brought it close to my nose, and the smell I got wasn't that pleasant. And I looked at his mouth. By then, this whitish substance, in fact, it was bringing out foam, was already coming out of his mouth, and his body was already stiff. It was then I noticed that my father has taken poison. In fact, has taken his life.
Eh?
Yes.
He took poison. Sorry, he took poison and died.
That was how.
Hey, Jesus.
I knew I have lost him, but I didn't know that I have lost him completely out.
Hey.
That my actions were going to lead to his death. And that is the most terrifying part of it. living now knowing fully well that I caused the death of that man that single-handedly raised me into a woman that I have become, and having to know that I am still pregnant for that same man. As it is now, I don't even know where to go from here. I don't know what to do with the pregnancy. I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know what to do next. Even to feed, I could barely feed. I can't even take care of myself. Not to talk of taking care of the baby. I haven't even bought anything for the child. I can't even eat for myself, not to talk of. So I just need help. I just wish that people out there could come to my rescue, because I know that my action must have caused my father's death, but I didn't know it was going to end like that. Because of my selfish desire and selfish interest, my father lost his life. So I'm pleading with people out there, if there's any way you can come to my aid. I am going through a lot at the moment. I know that you may condemn me, you may spit on me, you may do whatever you wish to me, but please, at the end of the day, just find a place in your heart to forgive me and come to my rescue, because as it stands now, I'm just helpless.
Now, now, hey, Jesus. In fact, things they happen. Oh. Things they happen. Hey, this matter safe, eh? I swear, if I tell you that I know where to come in this matter now, just know that I'm lying. I don't even know where to come in this matter. Like, hey, this is not even my normal type of story. Like the story I always want people to share. I didn't hear it good, but the most painful part of it is that you killed the most painful part of it. The man that was there for you, making sure that you don't feel the absence of your mom, because he single-handedly raised you, providing you everything that you need according to you. He took care of you like the daughter and father, and you people were having daughter and father relationship. This man was doing, I understand that this man was doing all these things for you because he feels that he doesn't have any other child apart from you. So as the only child, he was taking care of you the best way he could. And the love he showered on you was the love of a father to a daughter. That was how I saw it, and that was how it is. But you yourself, you took it to another level. You took it to another level, to an extent of having feelings for your dad. I mean, this thing is even very odd to hear. Having feelings, like boyfriend and girlfriend feelings. This time around is not even like father and daughter again. This one is like boyfriend and girlfriend things. I don't know how your feelings just grew to that extent, but this is what it was. Very bad, very, very bad. And now it have caused the death of your father. Your father has died in that process, the only man that you know. Now your mother, you say that you do not grow up with your mother, you don't know that they say that your mother died. Then your father is dead now. So now practically now you made yourself an orphan. No father, no mother, and no siblings. Oh God. I don't even know how to put it. I don't even know. Please, I will just post this story. I will just post this story. Please, my audience, if anybody has anything to say about this, like she is now, she said that things have changed for her, and she's begging for help or whatever. But in fact, I don't know how to. I don't know. I can't even recall it. Please, my audience, if anybody know anything, or anybody wants to have anything to share or advice to give to her, or maybe any help to render to her, so please, you people can do that in my comment section. She will be there to take your advice and what to do. Because me, I'm ending this video. Everything is the team did not even go well. So, sister, thank you for sharing your video or your story. So be at the comment section. Just be at the comment section. Maybe you get meaningful advice from there, or maybe help from there anyhow. So thank you for having me today.
Thank you.